Hi everyone, I hope you are well. I'm Olwen, I am a volunteer from praxisgreece. I'm here in the case of the European Solidarity Corps. As you can see, for now I'm alone, but I'm waiting some guests for talk about our volunteering and to share our experiences about this. See you very soon with my guests. Thanks to everyone to be here. We are here for like a 10 moments together, like a chit chat for discuss about our project and more specifically our international projects. Because I know some of them take an Erasmus, other one have an experience in the other country. So we are here for talk about this. My first question is, why are you here and why did you choose to have an experience in another country and more specifically a voluntary?
I didn't want to study this year, but I wanted to do something and I wanted to go abroad, but I didn't want to just travel somewhere. I wanted to have a real experience abroad and go with the structure. I thought it was a great opportunity for me to discover other people and then discover more about myself as well.
I did two volunteering. The first one was at my 18 years old. So it was more volunteering about know better just after like high school graduation, to understand better what I want to do, to discover like new way of life also, because I was a bit lost. I didn't know in which university I wanted to go or where I want to study. And my second one was after my study. So it was I made my study and I go to do a volunteering in this way to improve myself. And it was in Czech Republic and in Denmark. Nice, but I prefer the south of Greece right now.
For me, I came to Greece for two reasons. First, because I wanted to do something different. I was not happy with my job, so I wanted to move and start to work in something related to communication. That's why this volunteering was perfect for me. And also I wanted to have again the experience of discovering a new place, meeting new people, and just give me the opportunity to miss a little bit my country, you know.
Actually, when I signed up for this, I was still in high school. I ended it 2 months before coming here. My main reason for coming here was because this specific project here was very close to what I had already worked with. It was a very good opportunity to learn Greek, to eventually move to Greece, and then one more separate personal reason.
And for me, just because I wanted to do a gap year, but my goal during this gap year was just to learn English because I was really bad. And I want to work on cinema and theater, and I think it's really important. So this is why I came. Like I don't want it to just take some listen or go with some like not association, but like organization where you pay. And you have courses and you just don't do anything else, and I don't want that. I wanted to be close to young people like my age and international people, and this is why I think this is my place.
I chose the project because I like what the option was about. I like the idea of working in environmental communication, radio broadcast, and I wanted to try something new. At the same time, you stuff together things that I already know, maybe like social content and whatever. And at the same time, I think it was a great opportunity because it gave me the chance to leave my country, Italy, and to somewhere else. And I think that one great thing of this project is a great experience because you have the opportunity to find out something new, which is in part is your own choice, but in part is not.
And Greece was a choice for you or not specially?
No, I don't know, because I didn't even know where. Now we're in Ceres, and I never heard of Ceres in my life. I have never been in Greece in my life. So at the beginning I was also a bit scared because this was a part of Europe that I didn't really know. Yeah. But I liked also the idea to share the experience with other people from other parts of Europe, and we all share sort of goals and feelings, and it's nice to be here with other young people.
Yeah, fair enough. I think it's great because we are not here obviously for the same reasons, but at the same time we learn some similar things and we learn together, so it's kind of important to share these values. I have a question because in my case I didn't understand nothing on the portal of young portal. Yeah. It was easy for you to find the volunteer or not?
Like in my case, because I had a friend and she's doing another volunteering project, and she applied like a month before me. I posted the text. I was like, what do I have to do now? How did I search for that? And so definitely she helped me. But by myself, I was kind of lost.
the website.
A story about that. I still applying for both of my volunteering, even if it doesn't exist anymore. The website is still here. It's like the past, or this kind of volunteering like CES. The old one was CVE. And I still applying on this website because I think it's more easy, even if there are like free volunteering every year.
Yeah, the ECS website is really, it's a challenge. Like in my case, when I was applying to volunteerings, I was looking for some specific things, whether it was countries or fields or whatever. Like you can still have some sorting, like you can sort the different offer through countries, what you're going to do, the time, duration, when it starts, whatever. But then like, if you don't use those filters, you're not finding it. And then applying is just not intuitive, but it works.
For me, it wasn't that difficult.
A smart boy.
Yeah, I don't want to pretend to be the smartest one, but I was using the app, ESC. Yeah. Maybe this was important information that you should know before coming. Yeah, I found out the app, I downloaded, and it was kind of easy. It was okay. In my case, the filter was only like of the time. Then I was like just checking every type of project, and for me it was more about the project. But yeah, it was okay.
And for me it was the same, like it was just perfect. The site web was like really easy and everything was logical.
Too old. That must be it. It won't answer good cookie.
For me, I did understand it a lot, but that's because I've been through hell with some very difficult websites. I guess I understand them fairly easier because I've spent my entire life on obscure websites. Though I will say, the only bad thing that I can still point out about the website where we signed up was the fact that the filters, they will give you options that have zero anything. And at least then on the options had an automatic number for them. That would have been great because then I spent hours just going through the filters for all the things I wanted and there was nothing.
I remember that this because I discovered this website when I was a worker and I was looking for volunteering but not from me. And I remember the first time I went on this website I was like, oh my god, how can I explain to him what does he want, because even me I can't. The final thing who helped me, it was when I went to Brussels to talk with Eurodesk and they explained to me how does it work. And thanks to them, now I am in your side, but at the beginning, because I was also confused between Erasmus and ESC.
Yeah. With the ESC, you have like the group projects, the own projects, the humanitarian projects, and they are all put together in the same place, but they are also really different.
I think that's the part where I struggle the most. It's not when you arrive at the ESC portals, but it's before when you are on the going page and I have like Erasmus Plus, work projects, study, everything, and I'm like, and I didn't understand where do I have to go and what was the difference, because at the same time I didn't want to miss something because I was looking for volunteering, but maybe there was other great options in other part of the site.
And then like it's when you're creating your account that they explain you the difference between like the ESC and the humanitarian thing.
I know some of you take an Erasmus. And did you use with website or it was different?
It was different because it was with university. It was still a mess, but because it was the University of Paris.
Yeah, in my university there is an Erasmus office. I remember that the process for the Erasmus was really long. Like, I start to apply 1 year before. You just have to check the subjects, the courses available in the university that you chose, and then you have to find your equivalence with your courses in your common university, and then there is a teacher that will say, okay, this is okay, this is not okay, and then you have to send the document. But yeah, I just remember to be like a process that never ends.
Yeah. It was a bit different for me because I didn't go just for one semester, I went for a few years and had a degree in the university. So basically in my second year of university, I started applying, I think it was the middle of the year. I had an interview with teachers from my university. Then they sent my file, like my application file to the university I was applying to. Then the university was like, yeah, they want you. No, don't want you, whatever. And I had an Erasmus tutor from my home university that was supposed to be in touch with me and be sure I was still alive and ask me for like thesis at the end of the year and whatever.
It's not exactly like our project because you have to find a house, you have to find your...
Yeah.
So it's more not challenging, but
You're on your own.
Yeah,
You really are.
by-
I mean, you can get a scholarship. There's the Erasmus scholarship, which is around 300 euros a month. But I think it depends on where you're from and where you're going.
It depends of the country. Like there are 3 groups of countries.
Yeah. And depending, like, if your country is more expensive, you'll get what you know. If your country is cheap, which better not simple season. But if you don't get it every month, when you arrive in the country, you get 70% of it.
Yeah.
And then when you leave the country, you get the last 30%.
I'm here because of my study. I remember it wasn't very difficult to carry here, but it's to have the good news. It was very hard because the professional who helped us didn't know how to help. They passed a lot of time to find the good information for me, for be sure I can go in Greece without asking trouble and lose my years. So it was kind of hard, and I'm not sure we have a good training as a professional to help people to go in other place. Maybe it's more complicated in some country because about the administrative of the country. So I can understand, but it wasn't so hard for me to complicated, but not hard at the end. What was more hard at the beginning is to understand because English wasn't my mother language. And it was kind of complicated to have a discussion with our mentor or with our boss. When you talk about the fact to learn English or whatever, it's very important, but at the same time, sometimes it can be hard to participate in projects where everyone does speak your other language and you have to involve yourself in this part of the project and to be understand and have a good communication. I don't know if for you it was hard too, because I know we are a level kind of similar. Is it not too hard to speak in English all the time?
I think it's okay. At the beginning, it was hard because my level was English and no one could understand me. Even when I spoke, I was right now I spoke in the past, but I was just speaking certain and no one understood nothing. But then my English was better, and people was really helping me with my English and teach me English a bit. And then even if I know that I made some mistakes, I'm really comfortable with it to speak English. So now it's okay. And I still call my parents or the kind of speaking French, so it's fine. It's not really full intense English every time. So it's sometimes French. So it's a good balance.
For me, it's true that it's a little bit exhausting. Like sometimes it's not a big deal, but sometimes you just want to say a stupid thing in your language and someone to understand you. But yeah, I think you get used to it.
I know in my past volunteering, I get a bit the same because everyone around me speaking Danish or English, and like the first 2 months was very hard because my level was so quite slow. I was exhausted almost every day because it was really speak English, and no one
Really tiring.
and no one from my mother language as woman. So I was just like, I have to work every time. It's like a permanent English class. At first I was some trouble to be a part of the community I was as a volunteer because I was always tired. At some point when you cannot speak in the way you want, it's a bit frustrating.
Because it's not your second language, so maybe it's okay to speak in English, but and sometimes it's just that you don't know how to say certain thing in English.
Sometimes I can feel like very flat into the community because everyone is speaking like in all the way, and you are like, I'm just trying to understand why now.
Yeah, because it's hard to speak English all day, but it's also hard to understand English all day because someone speaking my native language, I can also not pay much of attention and still get it. While English, I have to be fully focused on what you're saying.
So with the people I met when I started my exchange in Amsterdam, at some point we all sat together and we had a discussion and we were like, so English is not a modern language for none of us. Believe me when I say that I'm funnier in French.
My personality is better.
I am not that boring.
Please, I'm more interested.
It's just that I don't know how to be funny.
And my sister, she has a lot of American friends, and so when we are together, we have to speak in English, and I'm like, I'm better than this. You will never know probably the Italian version of me, because the language is probably one of the parts that makes you think.
Yeah, because language is part of your identity, so in instincts. And I don't react the same way when I speak in English or when I speak in French. I don't have the same reactions, I don't say the things the same because it's not the same language. It's kind of like this, the English me and the French me, and it's a constant. At some point, you don't know which is which, and you just keep switching, and they mix, they blend with each other, but it's really visible at some points.
Yeah, and what is fun is we learn English here, but we are in Greece, and thanks Greek people speak very well English. Yeah, but at the same time,
Yeah, it's why you don't get English in France.
Or in Spain, it's not against you.
No, in Spain I think we have a bad level.
Yeah,
No.
we understand each other.
In Italy as well.
but at the same time, we have to learn some Greek word. I know you progress a lot in Greek. You learn a lot Greek. It's not too hard to speak English, Greek, to switch all the time.
Honestly, no, because this is actually the first time when I've started learning a language without the use of a proper formal classroom. Obviously, we have lessons with Georgia, but they're very infrequent, they're very informal. So this is the first time I'm more learning a language by just like the experience of it. And I can genuinely say it's such a better experience because I'm with a lot of Greek people here who barely speak English. Right? And so a lot of the times you have to mime a lot of these things. And through this process, I'm learning a lot of Greek that comes more naturally rather than like when you have that classroom. And like also it has a restriction of expression. And you come out of it and you're like, I don't know how to say the things I want. I can't talk like a normal person. I'm talking like a computer. And now that I'm learning Greek in this sort of more natural way, the words that I can say are very more like in that natural sense, right? And like a common conversation. Yes.
Yeah, you're not doing the Brian is the kitchen.
When you go into the country and start to speak with people, you understand which word is useful and which one is not.
Yeah.
Having a conversation with someone else is the best way to learn a language. By my own, I used to went to this lady and she was British and we'd had just a conversation in English and then we used to watch videos and then talk about the videos and it was very nice. It was funnier and it was nicer and it makes you feel more comfortable with the language.
For languages, it's extremely important that you have somebody to speak with in it. I lived in Germany for 4 years, quite literally living there. I can't speak German because I never made a single German friend. Like, I just did not speak with a single person. I can't speak German. I was in a class every single day, 8 hours a day, learning German. Did not learn for 2 years straight.
It's also good, I think, like to talk with people that are not like English native speakers, especially at the beginning, like Spanish talking with Italian, French, Latvian, whatever. Because yeah, sometimes you find people like Axel, like he's French but have British accent. But sometimes you find Olwen with a perfect French accent, and it's beautiful.
Thanks to this project, we can progress in English and be better. But we love English, but also maybe you develop other skills in the other ways. So what this project bring to you?
We're all working as a group of international people that don't know each other, don't have the same cultures, don't come from the same country, and don't speak the same language except English, and sometimes English is like that. Sometimes the English is etiquette. Teaches you how to work with people that are completely different from you. And it's so interesting to see how everyone is working in a different way and you learn so much from the others.
Yeah, for me also, like, apart from the skills that you get, like, for example, here that we're working with radio, social media, whatever, on if you are doing Erasmus and you're studying whatever courses, it's all about the people and it's to improve your socialization. You can become like better person because you have the opportunity to meet a lot of different people from different countries, also different backgrounds. You learn how these people are, what things they do in their countries or in their cities, because maybe you also know people from your country but from a city that you have never visited. I think you break some stereotypes.
Yes.
Yeah, it helps you to understand the world better. Yeah.
I know I really like it to see like a lot of different ways to work and a lot of different abroad of how to can create a project, how to can connect with people, because we don't have the same way to connect people when you are like Danish or when you are like Spanish. As you say, it's like very open mind moment because you discover a lot of it and you can really like take it for yourself and after use it again after.
Yeah, and it's funny because you do a volunteer as a gardener in botanic stuff and in permaculture. In us, it's more about communication, so it's completely different, but it's the same programs.
Yeah.
And even after, because like you, when you make your first training before to came, you discover other people who do the same program as you, but completely different things. And you can have an exchange when you go back in your country, like, oh, you do this, me, I do that, and it was so different. Oh, you live like this. Oh, but us, it was not like this. And it's so funny to see you can have other connections, but after.
Creates a sort of bigger community of all the people that went to PSC or whatever volunteering project abroad, and you're like, you volunteered, I volunteered, now we're friends.
Maybe it's important for young people like us to have this experience. Do you think it's for everyone? Do you think you will recommend these experiences for all of the people or not exactly?
I think it depends on the project. Like there is project in community like us when you like in one apartment with 8 people and not for everyone. And there is some project where you are alone and we were like, yeah, depends of what you want and one thing or not really where and when. And I think it really depends on the project. But I think it's for everyone. There is project for everyone.
Yeah. Not everyone wants to go abroad for 5 months and reinvent themselves and speak a new language and whatever. It's in the word. You know, like volunteering, you have to volunteer. It's something that comes from you. It could be for everyone because I think that there's a way of making it suitable for everyone. I think it's great to have this experience at least once in a lifetime because you just grow as a person. It's another way of working and exploring the whole society and get to know how the world works.
Before you must to do a
mandatory
military service. Right now maybe like the same it's for everyone but in the way they want.
I think there's enough amount of projects and enough amount of type of projects.
Yeah.
Like permaculture projects related to taking care of World Heritage sites or reconstructing historical buildings. There's a lot of projects that allow you to work in schools with children or to work in centers with disabled people or communication projects like ours. Like if someone will feel the vibe to do something different, he or she will find for sure something.
This is actually a question that I did propose to a few of the people here in Greece. Should everybody could all of these questions, right? And one of my biggest questions is also why don't people do it? And they gave me a very straight, direct, simple answer on why, for example, if they were in the age group to do this, they're able to, right? Because the age group for example, these projects, where the European Commission completely basically pays for everything you do, 1830, is because a lot of them started working at the point when they were 16 to help their families. Yeah. A lot of people don't have 5 months to just throw away.
I don't want to say sacrifice, but of course you have to accept, you have to share things. So they gave you something, but you also have to give something. You have to be active in what you're doing, which is good. But if your idea is just, I just want to spend 6 months of my life in Greece, that is not the right mindset. You have to be, and also you have to be open-minded and be prepared that you're going to face your reality that you don't know, and there could be things that you really, really like and things that you maybe not like. But that's part of the beauty of this kind of experience, of course. If you don't think that this kind of things will help you to grow up, that's the wrong way to front. Yeah.
Thank you a lot for your participation, for your time. It was very, very cool.
Thank you.
Hey, so I hope you really enjoyed the video. For us, it was very, very interesting, and I think we share a very, very good time together. Everybody is left because they have to work. Thank you a lot, and I really hope you appreciate it. If you want to comment the video, if you have any question, we are available on our social media.